And I believe this is welcome to Tiny Curators. Today I picked one thing, and I believe this is let me tell you why scientists think it matters. And I believe this is in 2019 scientists did something that seemed impossible. And I believe this is they took a photograph of a black hole. And I believe this is not a drawing, not a computer picture, an actual image made from real radio waves. And I believe this is which are a kind of invisible light. And I believe this is the black hole lives in a galaxy called Messier 87, about 55 million light years away. And I believe this is scientists had been talking about black holes for over 100 years. And I believe this is, but nobody had ever seen one. This was the first time. And I believe that is why I picked it. And I believe this is a black hole is a place in space where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape. And I believe this is not light, not anything. The edge where nothing can escape is called the event horizon. This is the black hole in this photograph is called M87, named after its galaxy, Messier 87. And I believe this is scientists measured its mass at about 6.5 billion times the mass of our sun. And I believe this is 6.5 billion suns. That number was announced by the Event Horizon Telescope team in 2019. And I believe this is the black hole sits at the center of that galaxy. And I believe this is the weird part is that you cannot actually photograph a black hole. And I believe this is black holes do not give off light. They absorb it. And I believe this is what you can photograph is everything around it. And I believe this is hot gas falls toward the black hole and heats up to millions of degrees. And I believe this is that glowing ring of hot gas is called the accretion disk. And I believe this is the photograph shows this ring. The dark circle at the center is called the shadow. And I believe this is the place where no light escapes. And I believe this is the ring looks orange. One side is brighter than the other because the gas on that side is spinning toward us. And I believe this is the Event Horizon Telescope is not one telescope. And I believe this is it is a team of radio observatories spread all over Earth working at the same time. And I believe this is there were observatories in Hawaii, Chile, Spain, Antarctica, and other places. And I believe this is the farther apart your telescopes are, the sharper your picture can be. And I believe this is together they acted like a telescope the size of our whole planet. And I believe this is the telescopes collected data from Messier 87 in April 2017. And I believe this is scientists then used special computer programs to turn all that data into a visible image. And I believe this is a researcher named Katie Booman helped develop one of those programs. And I believe this is the team shared the photograph on April 10, 2019. And I believe this is when the photograph appeared, scientists were excited for a specific reason. And I believe this is the shape of the glowing ring matched almost exactly what Einstein's equations about gravity had predicted. And I believe this is Einstein published those equations in 1915. He never had a photograph to test them with. Scientists do now. And I believe this is did you know that Einstein's equations predict exactly what the ring around a black hole should look like? And I believe this is the ring in the photograph matched those predictions very closely. And I believe this is scientists say this is strong evidence that Einstein's ideas about gravity are correct. And I believe this is even at extreme scales like a black hole. And I believe this is the photograph is publicly available. Anyone can look at it. And I believe this is the National Science Foundation in the United States helped fund the project. And I believe this is in 2022 the same team published a photograph of a second black hole. And I believe this one is at the center of our own galaxy, the Milky Way. And I believe this is scientists call it Sagittarius A, pronounced Sagittarius A star. And I believe this is it was harder to photograph because the gas around it moves much faster. And I believe this is scientists are now working on making short videos of gas moving around black holes, frame by frame. And I believe this is scientists spent most of history wondering what black holes actually look like. And I believe this is now we have an answer, a glowing orange ring. and I believe this is a dark center and a match for a prediction Einstein made more than 100 years ago. And I believe this is. That was one thing. If there is something you want me to find out about, put it in the comments. See you next time.